Final Fantasy 16 is an ambitious, more mature entry in the series, says the producer. James, I broke this up into 4 little sections here so we could just each go back and forth on the sections. I'll take the first one here. Final Fantasy franchise is a fitting fight, or a fighting fit. A fighting fit in a way that it hasn't been for quite some time.
I don't know what that means.
Final Fantasy XIV underwent a huge revitalization that took it from a floundering MMO to one of the most critically acclaimed and beloved games of the genre.
True.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, meanwhile, defied expectations and delivered an incredibly strong, modernized version of the iconic Japanese role-playing classic. Now, Square Enix is looking to make some smart moves to ensure Final Fantasy continues to shine while it's in the spotlight right now. And so these are like, it was a huge interview with the directors of Final Fantasy 16. Wow. So jump into this first section. What do we got?
Icon battles, which are the big, huge gods. Yeah. Icon battles are playable with multiple stages, and each one of them feels different. Clive, which is the main character, can encounter them as a small human, which means you can fight these monsters.
Fight gods.
You can fight gods as a small boy.
Not only, you can be a god and fight gods in this game as well on the big scale.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. So sick.
Clive will also live through different stages. So the game will progress through your teens, and then your 20s, and then your 30s.
Yeah.
And then the game is also ready to mature due to its adult themes.
This is the first M-rated Final Fantasy game in a long time. There was a previous one, I think, but the director in the interview kind of says, he said something about parents, or I don't know, and there's like a shot from the trailer where like Clive is like naked. He's like covered on the bottom a little bit too. So he's like, I don't know. And there's like a lot more violence in this game, it looks like, too, than maybe some other ones. So the cutscenes look pretty intense. I'm excited to see whatever happens here. This is a lot of party info here, which is interesting. Clive appears to be the only controllable character, whereas like in Final Fantasy VII, you can switch characters. Like you can play as Aerith, play as Tifa, play as Barret. This is like Clive's the only controllable character. But you will encounter companions that will be AI-driven, and I'm sure you can make them do moves similar to like how you can do that as Cloud to other characters. I'm just using Final Fantasy VII as a point of reference.
Same as Final Fantasy 15, where you can direct moves for combos and stuff like that.
But you can't play as the other characters in 15, can you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only played the beginning of 15. That's good.
I like Final Fantasy 15.
So Torgal the Wolf will be a full-time party member. We've seen him in a trailer before. Oh, could be a full-time party member. We'll have more info on parties soon. And Yoshida also confirmed that Final Fantasy 16 will not be open world, but it will use larger zones to instead create a sense of a global scale. And he says it's been very inspired by recent AAA open world games. Let's hope that's good open world games. But that's interesting to me. I definitely like linear. Yeah. And I'm a little scared of open worlds. I'm much more open to the idea of these larger areas instead of a full open world, but we'll see.
Yeah. New combat system is due to wanting to get new players on board, and because it fits better with the game's presentation. Defeating an icon means unlocking its abilities and skill tree. So when you defeat an icon, you'll get the entire icon sort of signature skill along with all the skills that follow along with that.
Like, I forgot what there's a fire god guy. He's the gods are like very consistent through the Final Fantasy games. But you see Clive like use the powers of that guy in some of his sword fighting dealio. And so that's pretty cool. I don't know how that's going to play out.
And then apparently Clive can become an icon himself.
Pretty freaking awesome.
Which is pretty
James,
cool.
Are you
excited? He can take on an icon, or the icon will be called Clive.
Clive the God. That'd be so sick. Are you excited for this game?
I'm very excited for this game. I love a good Final Fantasy.
I'm stoked, man. I think the trailers have been just incredible. The trailers have been so cool, especially after playing. Like 5 years ago, you would ask me if I'm excited for a Final Fantasy game. It's probably no, because I'd only played I played a PSP version of a Final Fantasy game. Like I'd never really jumped in until 15 and 7 that I've really played. And then I've watched a lot of 14, like on streams and stuff like that. Obviously, that's MMO, and this is not
definitely
really like
different
that. But
style.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm super stoked for this, and I think it looks gorgeous on the PS5, dude. I'm so stoked. And these details are making me excited too.
Yeah, this game is shaping up to be quite a banger and a great installment in the franchise.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. And if you want to know more about Final Fantasy and the world of gaming, you can stay right here on Strictly Casual. We appreciate you guys watching. If you want to listen to the whole podcast, become a member right here on YouTube, or you can listen to the whole thing for free on audio platforms. You just got to type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint, or there's a link right in the description that'll take you to it on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.